Hey everyone, and welcome back to Talk Tickers. We usually dig deep into earnings calls here, but today we're going to shake things up a bit.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
diving into some breaking news instead.
Sounds good.
Some news that has the market, especially tech, buzzing.
Absolutely.
And you ready for this? This involves former President Trump.
All right.
Big news, right?
It is.
So he announced he is making a major investment in AI.
I did not see that coming.
Right. Huge, right?
Yeah, pretty wild.
And he's partnered up with some big names.
I bet.
Oracle, OpenAI, and Softbank to pour a ton of resources into AI development.
Wow.
So that's the big headline. But what does it all mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
And why should you care?
Yeah.
Well, to start this could really speed up the development of AI technology, like new algorithms, more sophisticated applications, even wider adoption in a bunch of industries.
I mean, it seems like AI is already developing so fast.
Yeah.
So what difference will this investment really make?
Well, think of it this way.
Yeah.
Imagine you've got a fire burning, and then someone comes along and pours gasoline on it.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of what this investment could do for AI. It's not just about the money, it's also about the combined expertise, the resources, the influence of all these players.
Right. I see what you mean.
So yeah, things could get really interesting really fast.
Yeah.
But we do need to be realistic, right?
Sure.
There are a lot of potential obstacles
Absolutely.
and unknowns here.
Yeah. Like what?
Well, for one, government regulation could play a huge role. I mean, we're already seeing those debates about AI ethics, right?
Mhm.
This kind of investment is definitely going to draw even more scrutiny.
For sure. And then there's the technological hurdles too.
Right.
I mean, developing cutting edge AI, that's not easy.
No?
And even with a ton of resources, success isn't guaranteed.
Right. And on top of all of that, there's a competition.
Oh, yeah.
This investment could ignite a global AI arms race with other countries and tech giants all vying for dominance.
It really feels like we're on the edge of something big here.
It does, doesn't it? So we've got the potential, we've got the risks, and we've got global intrigue.
It's a lot.
It is. And the key for everyone listening is to understand the nuances of this whole thing.
Right.
It's not just a headline.
Right.
This is a potential turning point in the evolution of AI.
It is.
And that has implications for everyone.
And what do you think this means for all the companies we cover on Talk Tickers?
Well, that's what I'm wondering too. Like, are we going to see a ton of new AI-focused startups? Will the big players double down on their AI efforts?
Those are some great questions.
Right.
I think we could even see a wave of mergers and acquisitions as companies try to position themselves in this AI landscape.
This is getting really interesting.
It is.
But before we get into specific companies and maybe even some potential trades, let's take a step back.
Okay.
How does this investment fit into all the bigger trends we're seeing in technology and just the global economy in general?
Well, I think we're seeing a bunch of powerful forces all converging at the same time, like the rise of big data advancements in computing power, and now this massive influx of capital and political will.
All behind AI.
All behind AI. It's like the perfect storm for rapid innovation.
But with a perfect storm comes a lot of uncertainty too, right? Like, how do we even begin to predict the long-term consequences of this kind of technological leap?
That's the million-dollar question, and that's what makes all this so fascinating. I mean, we're essentially witnessing the birth of a new era.
Wow.
And it's anyone's guess what the future holds.
Okay, so we've got former President Trump shaking up the tech world, a potential AI gold rush, and enough uncertainty to keep us all on the edge of our seats.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to dive even deeper.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the broader implications of this AI investment.
Right.
And it really does feel like we're on the verge of a technological revolution.
Yeah, it's like those sci-fi movies where,
Right.
The world changes overnight because of some big new invention. But this time, it's actually happening.
It is. And I think it's helpful to look back at past technological revolutions
Okay.
to get a sense of just how big these changes can be.
Okay, like, give me some historical context.
Well, think about the printing press.
Okay.
It might not seem like a big deal now, but it totally transformed the world.
It did.
Suddenly, information could spread much faster and wider than ever.
Right.
It led to massive social and cultural changes like the Renaissance and the Reformation.
Okay, so the printing press democratized knowledge.
Exactly.
And you're saying AI has the potential to do the same thing for processing power,
Exactly.
like giving everyone access to tools that used to only be for big institutions.
That's a great way to put it. Imagine a world where anyone with a smartphone
Wow.
can access these sophisticated algorithms
Yeah.
to analyze data, make predictions, even create art and music. It could really level the playing field.
So instead of big tech companies or governments controlling all this data and technology,
Right.
we could see a much more decentralized and democratized landscape. That's exciting, but also a little bit scary, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what people will do with that kind of power?
You're right. There are always potential downsides to any revolution.
Okay.
Look at the Industrial Revolution.
Okay.
It led to huge advancements, but it also led to pollution, social unrest, exploitation.
So progress isn't always pretty. What are some of the potential pitfalls with this AI boom?
Well, one major concern is jobs.
Okay.
As AI gets more sophisticated, it's going to automate some jobs away.
Yeah.
We're seeing it already in manufacturing and logistics, but it could spread to things like transportation, customer service, even finance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
On one hand, automation can mean things are more efficient and cheaper,
Right.
but it could also mean a lot of people lose their jobs.
Yeah, we need to figure out how to help those workers
Absolutely.
so they're not left behind.
We do. And it's not just jobs. There are concerns about privacy and security.
Okay.
I mean, AI systems are collecting tons of data about all of us. We need to make sure that data is protected and used responsibly.
Right. We don't want to end up in some dystopian future where algorithms are running everything.
Right.
And we have zero control over our own lives.
Exactly. We need to be talking about AI ethics
Yeah.
and how to develop it to benefit humanity, not just corporations or governments.
I completely agree. We've got all this amazing potential,
We do?
but also these serious risks.
Yeah, it's a tightrope walk.
It is. This is getting pretty philosophical for a finance podcast.
It is.
But you're right.
We're talking about what kind of society we want to build.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of finance, though,
Okay.
I think it's time to talk about investment opportunities in this brave new AI world.
All right, let's get to the fun stuff. But first, a disclaimer.
Of course.
This is not financial advice.
Right. We are not financial advisors.
Yep.
This is just hypothetical.
Yeah, just exploring some ideas.
And hopefully getting some interesting conversations going.
Exactly. With that said, what companies or sectors could benefit from this AI boom?
Well, the obvious ones are the companies actually developing AI.
Okay.
You know, the ones making the hardware and software that power these systems.
Exactly. Like NVIDIA.
Right.
They make those GPUs that are essential for training AI. They could see huge demand. And then you've got Google and Microsoft developing those cutting-edge AI algorithms and platforms.
Right.
They're already huge in this space.
Yeah.
But this could give them an even bigger advantage.
Okay. And what about the companies that provide the infrastructure for all this?
Oh, good point.
Like the cloud computing providers.
Yeah, they're going to be essential.
Right. They'll be storing and processing all that data.
Exactly. Companies like Amazon Web Services,
Right.
Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform.
Okay. So we've got the hardware makers, the software developers,
Yeah.
cloud providers.
Right.
What about the companies that are actually using AI to make new products and services?
Oh, that's a great point.
Right.
We're going to see so much innovation across industries as companies start using AI. Think healthcare, finance, transportation, retail. AI is going to touch everything.
Are tons of investment opportunities.
Tons.
This is sounding like a real gold rush.
It is.
But how do we sift through all the noise?
Right.
How do we find the companies that are actually going to succeed?
That's the question.
Yeah. Are there any metrics or trends we should be looking for?
Well, that's a great question and something we'll definitely cover in future episodes.
Okay.
But for now, I think it's important to look for real innovation, not just hype.
Okay.
Look for companies developing practical AI applications that solve real problems, not just flashy demos.
Yeah.
And pay attention to the companies building strong partnerships.
Okay.
The companies that can collaborate and use the collective intelligence of the AI community.
Collective intelligence. I love that.
Yeah.
It's like the AI is learning from itself.
Exactly.
But let's get back to those investment opportunities.
Okay.
We've got a lot of potential winners,
We do.
but we also need to be real about the risks.
Yep.
What are some things investors need to watch out for?
I think one of the biggest risks is overvaluation.
Okay.
As people get excited about AI, some companies might get ahead of themselves.
Yeah.
Valuations might get inflated.
Right.
So you got to do your research. Make sure you're not just buying hype. Look for solid fundamentals and a clear path to profitability.
So it's basically don't get caught up in the hype.
Exactly. And be ready for volatility.
Okay.
The AI market is still early.
Right,
It's going to go up and down.
Okay.
Don't panic if your investments dip in the short term. Focus on the long-term potential.
That's good advice.
Oh.
And it brings us to our favorite segment.
All right.
This is not financial advice.
There we go.
You ready to come up with some crazy trade ideas?
Oh, I'm always ready for that.
Based on this AI news.
Let's brainstorm. But remember, folks,
Yes.
this is hypothetical and for entertainment only.
Right. We are not financial advisors.
We're not.
You should always do your own research
Oh,
before making any investment decisions.
right. We're just having some fun here.
Yeah.
Exploring the possibilities.
All right. So let's get those
Yeah.
creative juices flowing.
Yeah.
What are some out there trade ideas that could win big or lose it all in this AI-powered future?
Well, one idea I've been thinking about is a long-dated call option strategy.
Okay.
Buying all options on a basket of companies involved in AI, hardware, software, and cloud computing.
I like where you're going with this
Okay.
long-dated call actions.
Yeah,
They give us leverage.
exactly.
We can ride the upside without risking too much capital.
But what about the strike price?
Right. Do we go for those deep out-of-the-money options
Right.
for maximum leverage?
Yeah,
Or play it a bit safer?
I think we could do a tiered approach.
Okay.
Buy a mix of in the money, at the money, and out of the money options.
Okay, so we're covered no matter what happens.
We've got exposure to a range of outcomes. We could even add some long-dated put options
Okay.
on companies that might get disrupted by AI, just to hedge our bets.
That's brilliant.
Right.
So we've got our AI revolution basket trade,
We do.
long-dated call options on companies like NVIDIA, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and maybe a few others.
Throw in a few more for good measure.
And to make things interesting,
Right.
we add those long-dated put options on companies that are likely to be on the losing side of all this.
Absolutely. But what about the risks?
Right. This wouldn't be talk tickers without some skepticism.
I was just thinking that there are definitely risks. Government regulation could slow things down. The technology might not develop as fast as we think competition could heat up. And then there are always those black swan events.
Oh, yeah. The things we can't even predict, like a global pandemic,
Yeah.
a massive solar flare,
Mhm.
or even an alien invasion.
You never know.
You never know. So anyone considering this trade needs to be ready for anything.
For sure.
Do your research, stay up to date on the market, and be ready to change your strategy if you need to.
Absolutely. And most importantly, don't bet everything on one trade.
Right. No matter how good it looks.
Exactly.
Okay. And to repeat this, it's hypothetical and for entertainment only.
Yep.
We are not financial advisors.
Right.
This is not investment advice.
No.
But it's fun to dream right.
It is anything is possible.
I love that attitude.
Ah.
Okay, so we've got our AI revolution basket.
Yep.
We've looked at the potential risks and rewards, and we've had some laughs along the way. I think that's a pretty good deep dive.
I agree. And it shows why it's so important to stay informed and engaged.
Yeah,
Things are changing so fast.
they are.
The more we understand these trends, the better we'll be able to navigate them.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, so we talked about Trump's AI investment, and we even came up with some trade ideas.
We did.
But before we wrap up this whole deep dive,
Okay.
let's have some fun. Let's
Okay.
push the boundaries a bit.
Okay.
What are some extreme but still plausible scenarios that could happen as AI gets even more advanced?
I like this game. Let's start with automation.
Okay.
It's already happening, but what if this investment just supercharges it? Self-driving trucks everywhere, deliveries by drone robots running warehouses.
Yeah.
What happens to all the people who used to do those jobs?
It's like you said before, it's a double-edged sword. Efficiency goes way up, costs go down. We might even get cheaper goods and services.
Right.
But then on the other hand,
Yeah.
millions of people could be out of work.
It's a real problem.
Yeah. And it's not just blue-collar jobs either.
No, not at all.
AI is starting to do things we thought only humans could do.
Like what?
Lawyers researching cases,
Mhm.
accountants doing their thing.
Oh, wow.
Even some parts of what doctors do could be done by AI.
Seriously?
Yeah, this could change the entire job market.
It could?
So are we all going to be fighting robots for scraps in the future?
Yeah, no, come on now. It's not the robot apocalypse.
Okay.
AI will definitely change things, but it's not a zero-sum game.
Okay, so we'll be working alongside robots.
More likely, we'll see a shift in the types of jobs people do.
So what skills do we need to learn to be successful in that world?
Think critical thinking, complex problem-solving, creativity.
Yeah.
The things AI isn't good at yet.
Right.
Jobs where you need human interaction, empathy. Those will be key. It's kind of ironic.
What is?
To stay ahead of machines, we need to be more human.
That's crazy. Okay, but what if all this leads to an explosion of productivity.
Okay.
Goods and services get cheaper, we have more free time, the economy booms.
Yeah.
Basically, a utopia powered by algorithms.
That's the dream.
Right.
It is, but even in a utopia, there are problems.
True.
What if all the wealth created by AI just goes to the people who own the technology? We could end up with a massive wealth gap.
Yeah. The AI haves and have-nots.
Exactly. We've seen this happen with other tech revolutions.
They have.
How do we make sure the benefits of AI are shared more fairly?
That is the big question.
It is.
It might require some major changes to our entire economic model,
Wow.
but we need to start talking about it now.
Before it's too late.
Exactly. The choices we make today will shape the future.
Okay, so we've gone from practical trade ideas to some pretty big philosophical questions.
We have, but that's what I love about these conversations.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
It is. So what's the big takeaway for our listeners today?
I think the big takeaway is this: the future is still being written.
Yeah.
AI is powerful,
Yeah.
but we get to decide how it's used. Stay informed, join these discussions, and make sure AI is developed responsibly.
Because it's our future.
It is.
All right, so to wrap up this AI deep dive, remember, everything we talked about is for entertainment purposes only.
Right.
We are not financial advisors.
Absolutely not.
Do your own research.
Please.
But hey, it's exciting to think about all the possibilities.
It is.
Who knows what incredible breakthroughs or crazy challenges are coming our way.
Only time will tell.
Thanks for joining us on Talk Tickers, and we'll see you next time for more deep dives into the world of finance and beyond.
Until next time.